Agora Cyber Charter School is ready to put over 18 years of being a leader in online education to work for you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. How's everyone doing?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Devendra Prabhu, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
तबीयत ठीक है आपकी?
हाँ, ठीक है अभी.
Very good. Chलिए, okay. So we'll all can recite Mangala Charan and then we will go ahead with summarizing Queen Kunti's prayers. And everyone has been given the verses, so we'll start after the Mangala Charan. Thank you everyone for joining. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय
Welcome everyone to today's Bhakti Sangha. And I am very relaxed today because I don't have to speak. All of you will be speaking today. So I'm very, very excited. So we'll go with a sequence that I posted on the WhatsApp group. And let me share the, hold on, verse. Hare Krishna. Okay. So hope everyone can see my screen. Right?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes,
Hare
we can.
Krishna. Okay, wonderful. So we'll go in the sequence. So there are about 26 verses that we have to cover from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse number 18 through 43. So for 18 to 20 are assigned to Ajay Prabhu, and he already sent me a message. He has to be in the shop for till late today, so he won't be able to make it. So we can just read the translation for these two verses. So Kunti Maharani is praying. Maybe this is one verse we can just read. Kunti Uvacha Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrte Param Alakshyam Sarvabhutanam Antarbahiravastitam. Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. So, on behalf of Ajay Prabhu, I will just take once.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी आप ये वर्स भी शेयर कर रहे हैं क्या? वो मुझे नहीं दिख रहा है या
वर्स नहीं दिख रहा आपको?
नहीं, मुझे सिर्फ आपका जो डेस्कटॉप का स्क्रीन दिख रहा है.
ओके ओके, होल्ड ऑन. Thank you for letting me know. I shared the wrong screen, so अभी दिख रहा होगा.
अभी भी नहीं आया है. हाँ, अब दिख रहा है.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this was the prayer starting from this verse 18. And here Mother Kunti, Queen Kunti is saying that she is glorifying Krishna and she is sharing that Krishna is within and without, he is everywhere. So Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, Kunti herself was puzzled about Sri Krishna, whether Sri Krishna is all pervasive or localized. In fact, he is both, but he reserves the right of not being exposed to persons who are not surrendered souls. So he reserved that right to whom he want to expose himself how much. So depending on our level, our degree of bhakti, Krishna reveals to us. The more we are surrendered, more advanced we become in bhakti, Krishna will start revealing to us more and more. He is everywhere. Then the verse 19, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are eternally irreproachable, factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. Same point is here also. And if all of you remember, we discussed the example how when characters or people play certain drama on the stage, they reveal, they're revealing that particular, they're enacting that character, right? That identity is not known, but person who knows that this is a drama and who the actor is actually, he knows that that actor is playing the part of certain character. So depending on our intelligence, our understanding of Krishna, we approach Krishna accordingly. And then verse number 20, you yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service unto the hearts of advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly? So Mother Kunti is taking the position of she's taking very humble position that how can as a woman I can understand you. You are subject of curiosity to even greatest advanced yogis and spiritualists, right? They're still trying to understand you and know you. So how can a woman like me, she's taking a humble position. She very well knew who Krishna is. So this was the first section. Now we can go to verse number 21 and 22. Anita Mataji, please go ahead. And when you start, we all can just offer our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada by saying Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So that will be nice offering to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Continue, please.
Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada, verse 1.821. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses. Do you want me to read the purport?
It's up to you, Mataji, whatever you want to do. You want to just read the purport or explain certain points, up to you.
I would just like to read the purport then.
Sure.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Lord, being thus unapproachable by any material assets, out of unbounded and causeless mercy, descends to the earth as He is in order to show His special mercy upon His unalloyed devotees and to diminish the upsurges of the demonic persons. Queen Kunti specifically adores the incarnation or descent of Lord Krishna above all other incarnations because in this particular incarnation he is more approachable. In the Rama incarnation, he remained a king's son from his very childhood, but in the incarnation of Krishna, although he was the son of king, he at once left the shelter of his real father and mother, King Vasudeva and Queen Kunti, just after his appearance and went to the lap of Yashoda Maya to play the part of an ordinary cowherd boy in the blessed Prajabhumi, which is very sanctified because of his childhood pastimes. Therefore, Lord Krishna is more merciful than Lord Rama. He was undoubtedly very kind to Kunti's brother Vasudeva and the family. Had he not become the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Queen Kunti could not claim him to be her nephew and thus address Krishna in parental affection. But Nanda and Yashoda are more fortunate because they could relish the Lord's childhood pastimes, which are more attractive than all other pastimes. There is no parallel to his childhood pastimes as exhibited at Vrajabhumi, which are replicas of his eternal affairs in the original Krishna Loka, described as the Chintamani Dham in the Brahma Samhita. Lord Shri Krishna descended himself at Brajabhumi with all his transcendental entourage and paraphernalia. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore confirmed that no one is as fortunate as the residents of Brajabhumi, and specifically the cowherd girls who dedicated their everything for the satisfaction of the Lord. His pastimes with Nanda and Yashoda, and his pastimes with the cowherd men, and especially with the cowherd boys and the cows, have caused him to be known as Govinda. Lord Krishna as Govinda is more inclined to the Brahmanas and the cows, indicating thereby that human prosperity depends more on these two items, namely Brahminical culture and cow protection. Lord Krishna is never satisfied where these are lacking. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anything you want to point out, Mataji? Any 1 point or 2 points?
The point stand out for me is like he is like more merciful and more approachable than the form of Lord in the Ram form because of his, I think, Leela with all, and more similar to like more approachable because they are like more our day-to-day life, how it is like perform like more closer to the Vrindavan Dham and the Gopas and Gopis.
Yes. Very nice point. So, Krishna, as Krishna himself is the full expression of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other avatars, other incarnations, he is still Krishna. He comes with all the potencies, but he reveals for only certain potencies that are relevant for that particular incarnation. And the glories of Braj Bhumi and the gopis are given here. And even one who knows, we all are very fortunate in this particular Kali Yuga, because only in this Kali Yuga, only in one Kali Yuga, in one day of Brahma, these glories of Braj Bhumi and the Braj Bhav and the Golok Vrindavan is revealed. In all the other yugas, it is not revealed. Even in the other Kali Yugas, it is not revealed. So even we are very fortunate by mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada and the followers of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, next one. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada 1.8.22. Nama Pankajanaಭಾಯ Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye.
Yeah.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses.
Would you like to just point out a couple of points or want to read the whole? Whatever you're comfortable with, that's fine.
Okay, the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here are some of the specific symbolical marks on the spiritual body of the personality of Godhead, which distinguish his body from the bodies of all the others. They are all special features of the body of the Lord. The Lord may appear as one of us, but he is always distinct by his specific body features. Srimati Kunti claims herself unfit to see the Lord because of her being a woman. This is claimed because women, Kshudras, the laborer class, and the Dvichabandhus or the wretched descendants of the higher three classes are unfit by intelligence to understand transcendental subject matter concerning the spiritual name, fame, attributes, forms, etc. of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Such persons, although they are unfit to enter into the spiritual affairs of the Lord, can see him as the Archa Vigraha, who descends to the material world just to distribute favors to the fallen souls, including the above mentioned women, Shudras, and Dvichabandhus. Because such fallen souls cannot see anything beyond matter, the Lord condescends to enter into each and every one of the innumerable universes as the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who grows a lotus stem from a lotus like depression in the center of his transcendental abdomen, and thus Brahma, the first living being in the universe, is born. Therefore, the Lord is known as the Pankajanabi. The Pankajanabi Lord accepts the Archa Vigraha, his transcendental form, in different elements, namely a form within the mind, a form made of wood, a form made of earth, a form made of metal, a form made of jewel, a form made of paint, a form drawn on sand, etc. Such forms of the Lord are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, and there should be a soothing atmosphere in the temple of worship to attract the burning attention of the non devotees always engaged in material wranglings. The meditators worship a form within the mind, therefore, the Lord is merciful even to the women Shudras and Dvijabandhus, provided they agree to visit the temple of worship in different forms made for them. Such temple visitors are not idolaters, as alleged by some men with a poor fund of knowledge. All the great acharyas established such temples of worship in all places just to favor the less intelligent, and one should not pose himself as transcendenting the stage of temple worship while one is actually in the category of the Shudras and the woman or less. One should begin to see the Lord from his lotus feet, gradually rising to the thighs, waist, chest, and face. One should not try to look at the face of the Lord without being accustomed to seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. Srimati Kunti, because of her being the aunt of the Lord, did not begin to see the Lord from the lotus feet because the Lord might feel ashamed, and thus Kunti Devi, just to save a painful situation for the Lord, began to see the Lord just above his lotus feet, that is, from the waist of the Lord, gradually rising to the face and then down to the lotus feet. In the round, everything there is in order. Hare Krishna. Just wanted to point out the what I understood from this is the Archa Vigraha form, which is in the form of anything like metal, wood, sand, or in just in a manifested in your mind when you are doing the meditation about Lord, that is all acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as it is as per the scriptures, right? So,
Yes.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Okay. Next, we have Anuradha Mataji, verse number 23 to 20, through 25. So, 3 verses. Anuradha Mataji, you there? Yeah.
I think she was there. 1 second. Let me ask.
Yeah, so Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna everyone. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, I'm presenting words 23, 24 and 25. यथा ऋषिकेश खलेन देवकी कंसेन रुद्धा तिचिरं सुचार्पिता विमोचिताहं च सहात्मजा विभो त्वयेन नाथेन मुहुर्विपदृणात्. So I will explain like 23, 24 together.
Okay.
So I will read translation for both the verses.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. O Rishikesh, master of senses and lord of lords, you have released your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious king Kansa and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. 24. Vishan Mahagre Purushad Darshana दसत सभाया वनवास कृक्षतः मृधे मृधे अनेक महारथास त्रतो द्रोणयस तत्र द्रोण्यस तत् तत् शास्मि हरिभिरक्षिता. My dear Krishna, your lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Vasvathama. So in this So in verse like 23, 24, it explains about like Krishna's protection for Kunti Maharani and Pandavas. So Kunti Maharani is praying to the Lord, O Master of Senses, O Lord, like just as you protected Devaki, imprisoned by evil Kans, you saved me and with my sons repeatedly from series of greater dangers, like when Bhima was given poison in a cake by Duryodhana and party, all Pandavas were put into the house made of log and set a great fire. When all Pandavas exiled in the forest, Bhima had to fight with a man-eater demon hidden. Once, Draupadi was dragged out, and attempts were made to insult her by stripping her naked in the vicious assembly of the Kurus during gambling match. You saved Draupadi by supplying an immeasurable length of cloth, and Duryodhan party failed to see her naked. Pandavas experienced so much suffering while in exile in the forest. Arjuna had to fight against weapons of great fighters in battles as Drona, Bhishma, and Karna. They all were powerful fighters. Ashwathama weapon was released to kill the child within the womb of Uttara, and you saved the only surviving descendant of the Kurus, Maharaj Parikshit. Thus, O Lord, you protected us in all the dangerous situations. Here, Prabhupada ji mentioned in the purport, Krishna endows more favor to a devotee who is in greater dangers. Sometimes he put his pure devotees in such dangers because in that condition of helplessness, the devotee becomes more attached to the Lord. The more the attachment is there for the Lord, the more success is there for the devotee. The next 25 verse. Vipada santu ta shat shash vat tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yat sayad punar bhavdarshanam. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated birth and death. So in this verse, Kunti Maharani, she is praying to the Lord, let those calamities come again. So Kunti Maharani continue praying, O Lord, O Guru of the universe, let all those calamities come repeatedly again and again so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated birth and deaths. The so-called calamities are welcome because they give us an opportunity to remember the Lord or you, which means liberation. Here Prabhupada ji mentioned in this purport, the security of material world is actually a danger. Or maybe we can say this material world is a dangerous place that is filled with full of calamities. All the calamities are like a dream. If someone does any one of the 9 devotional services to the lotus feet of the Lord sincerely, he will be on his path on going back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol. Thank you. So next we have Devendra Deshpande Prabhu, verse number 26, 27, and 28. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
I think 1.26, it is something continue from 1.8.26, where it has been particularly mentioned about how the material words would affect your devotional life. Okay, so I think I will just try to capture some point in my own word.
Sure, bro.
Okay, so it has been mentioned here, if you are materially exhausted, then it would be very difficult to approach the Godhead. And here it's specifically mention a couple of points. Suppose you have respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, then you cannot approach to the God with sincere feeling. And if you are the mad with after possessing all those material opulence, then that would be that would be popped up, it would be it kind of intoxicated by such temporary possession, and consequently such material a person are incapable of uttering the holy name of the God. So meaning surely we would require some wealth to survive here, but we should detach of those materialistic word and fully devoted towards the Godhead. And specifically mention about, suppose you have a fever, and if the fever is increases, so that would be unhealthy to your body, and if it is decreases, so that will be a kind of healthy, and you are kind of out of that unhealthy body. Same kind of thing, if you have materialistic if you have possession and attached to the materialistic word, and if you were and if it's increased a lot, so that would be a very difficult to attach the God. And if you decreases your attachment toward the materialistic word, so that would helpful to move towards the God. So that is mentioned in 1.26 as per my understanding. And 1.827, it is about again it has been mentioned same again. And here it is also specifically mentioned that some example has been given, like the student, he sacrifice his childhood to get a better education. Also devotee reject the material word, and to it will help to go to achieve their goal. Like also mentioned, like Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and Sri Raghutam Das Swami, they gave their worldly pomp and prosperity for the sake of the service of the God. So that is the second thing. And third verse, it is mentioned about what is the God relationship with the God, and God is not partial to anybody. For example, like a teacher, has a 60 or 70 student, but each student has pursued as per his capacity, as per his devotion, and as per his attendance. So that is the way it has been described here. So maybe I can read this. My Lord, I consider your lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In disturbing your mercy, you are equal to the everyone. The dissensions between living beings are due to the social intercourse. And I can also mention some point here. So Krishna is like the Paramatma, and feature of Paramatma is kind of the Kal, or the eternal time. Okay, and Paramatma is our constant companion, and therefore he knows everything, past, present, and future. And because of the Paramatma feature of the Lord Krishna, disdains all action and reaction. He is the supreme controller also. Without his sanction, not a blade of grass can move. The devotee of the Lord do not misuse their freedom, and therefore there are the good sons of the Lord, others who misuse freedom but put into miseries designated by the eternal Kal. Okay, so the important thing is that so the Lord has no beginning and no end, and that's why it's called Kal. And we need to from our action, and we condition our soul so that it would what I can say. It would give everything to the feet of the God. So I think that's the way I understand it from these three verses. Jai Shri Prabhu.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Very
Jai Shri
nice.
Prabhupada.
Very nicely explained.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Okay, now next verses 29, 30, and 31. Madhu Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So it's our test today, what we listen or not.
No, we're learning from each other.
No, that's okay. So, Prabhuji, वो पहले वर्स पढ़े कैसे?
जैसा आपकी इच्छा, whatever you want to do.
पता नहीं, कोशिश करते हैं अगर बोली गई तो. न वेद कश्चित भगवान वंश चिकीर्षितम तो वह मानस्य निर्णयनाम विडंबनम नायस्य कश्चित दयितो अस्ति कश्चिद द्वेषस्य द्वेष्यश्च यस्मिन् विश्वाम मति नृणाम. Translation of this is, O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and so are misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial. Yeah, this is from Kunti prayer. It says, like, although everyone think he's impartial, he is partial, but actually he is impartial and he is fair to everyone. His mercy is like sunlight available to all, but it also depends upon our receptiveness, how we receive it. And I think it's for selfless devotees who receive in a special way, special mercy. And selfish devotees receive in a different way. But actually, he showers his mercy to everyone in the same way. Like people who died in the Kurukshetra war, all 64 crore warriors, they had salvation and their souls were also purified because in his presence, he delivers everybody the same mercy. I think this is only for 29. And now we go to 30th. I'll read only the translation, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Of course, it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work, though you are inactive and that you take birth, though you are the vital force and the unborn, you yourself descend amongst animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verify this is bewildering. To summarize this, I think his actions and forms are beyond our understanding and seem contradictory. Even if he is the supreme and controls everything, but still he appears in many avatars like human as Ramchandra, fish, and boar, rishis. He doesn't need to do anything, but still he can do everything, even with his glance and with his divine power. But pure devotees who are close understand him, whatever form he appears as, he is eternal. Should we go to the 31st?
Yes.
Yeah. This is same. I'll read translation probably. My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes, and you were afraid. Though fear personified is afraid of you, the sight is bewildering to me. To summarize this, I guess, even if he is the Lord, who is all powerful, he enjoys being treated like an ordinary person by his pure devotees who love him. Like in Golok Dham, his friends see him as his friends. And he also does his Leela for the human, like for parents, he did as a child. Whenever he does Leela, he does it perfectly. Like For example, when Krishna was a child, he stole butter and he was caught by Mother Yashoda. She tried to punish him. So Krishna started crying like he is so scared. But as it says, डर भी जिसके डर से कांपता है. So even if he was 6 days old, he killed Putana and so many other demons. He does this kind of leela just to please his devotees, those who love him. I guess just to give the pleasure to his mother for her pure love, he was acting as he is afraid of her. So this is how Kunti Mata appreciated all his leelas. That's it.
Very
So
nice.
this is what I understood from this.
Very, very nice. Thank you for taking us to Golok Vrindavan past times.
Yeah.
Very nice. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Okay, then next we have verse 32 and 33. Manidhar Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
No
Krishna.
pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse 32. Kechid ahur ajam jatam punya shlokasya kirtaye yadoho priyasyan vaye malyasyeva chandanam. Translation. Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings, and others say that he is born to please King Yadu, one of your dearest devotees. You appear in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malay hills. Purport given by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Because the Lord's appearance in this material world is bewildering, there are different opinions about the birth of the unborn. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he takes his birth in the material world, although he is the Lord of all creations and he is unborn. So there cannot be any denial of the birth of the unborn because he himself establishes the truth. But still, there are different opinions as to why he takes birth. That is also declared in the Bhagavad Gita. He appears by his own internal potency to re-establish the principles of religion and to protect the pious and to annihilate the impious. That is the mission of the appearance of the unborn. Still, it is said that the Lord is there to glorify the pious king, Yudhishthira. Lord Shri Krishna certainly wanted to establish the kingdom of the Pandavas for the good of all in the world. When there is a pious king ruling all over the world, the people are happy. And when the ruler is impious, the people are unhappy. In the age of Kali, in most cases, the rulers are impious. And therefore, the citizens are also continuously unhappy. But in the case of democracy, the impious citizens themselves elect their representative to rule over them, and therefore they cannot blame anyone for their unhappiness. Maharaj Nal was also celebrated as a great pious king, but he had no connection with the Lord Krishna. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhishthir is meant here to be glorified by Lord Krishna. The Lord had already glorified King Yadu, having taken birth in his family. Although he is known as Yadava, Yaduvira, Yadunandan, etc., he is always independent of such obligation. He is just like the sandalwood that grows in the Malay hills. Trees can grow anywhere and everywhere, yet because the sandalwood trees grow mostly in the areas of Malay hills, the name of the sandalwood and the Malay hills are interrelated. Therefore, the conclusion is that Lord is ever unborn like the sun, and yet he appears as the sun rises on the eastern horizon. As the sun is never the son of the eastern horizon, so the Lord is no one's son, but he is the father of everything that be. So can I read the next verse also? Verse 33. Apare vasudevasya devakyam yachito bhagyat ajat ajastvam asya shemaya vadhaya cha surdvisham. Translation: Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. Purport: It is also said that Vasudeva and Devaki in their previous birth as Sutapa and Prishni underwent a severe type of penance to get the Lord as their son. And as a result of such austerities, the Lord appeared as their son. And it is already declared in the Bhagavad Gita that the Lord appears for the welfare of all people of the world and to vanquish the asuras for materialistic atheists. So, in these two verses, they are both related actually because it is specified here about the Lord's appearance here. So Queen Kunti is praying here and she's describing the various reasons like, why Krishna is appearing in this world. And these reasons that Queen Kunti is describing, they are very wonderful, enumerated by Queen Kunti in this sloka. So Krishna is unborn, but still it appears to the normal person like he takes birth. So as it said, like, Kejit Ahur Ajam Jatam. So here Ajam word means Krishna is unborn. He has no birth. He has no beginning. He has no end. But as an ordinary living being, we take birth, we die, and from the mother's womb, and like certain number of years we live and die. But Krishna is like above all of this. So Krishna is Ajam. That's what Queen Kunti Maharani is saying in this verse. So I mean, although Krishna is unborn, and he takes birth as a son of Mother Yashoda, Mother Kaushalya, Mother Devaki. So there are different parents. So he takes birth in his different incarnation, and although he is unborn also. So Krishna is taking birth, but his birth is not like us, and that is also given in Bhagavad Gita, like Jan Karma Cha Me Divyam Yo Veti Tadvata. So in these verses, it is also said like unborn Lord, like Ajam, he has taken birth for various reasons. Like some people say, like Punya Shlokam. So Punya Shloka is a very important word here. It says Punya Shloka Kirtaya, that is the reason for his appearance. What does that mean? Krishna appears to expand the glories of his own devotees. So in this case, specifically, like some of his devotees are wonderful, like they are exalted, and Krishna wants to glorify them. That's why he takes birth, and that's why he appears. And Krishna, like some other people say that Krishna appears in the Yadu dynasty to expand the glories of the dynasty. As we know, Krishna is also known as Yadava. And another reason also is there, like just like Prabhupada ji given, I mean, the translation also says the Malay Hills. Malay Hills basically, it is referring to Malaysia also today. Like the lot of sandalwood used to grow like 5,000 years ago. So Queen Kunti is referring to that area. And she's saying that sandalwood tree grows like in Malay Hills. And thus, just by growing the sandalwood in that area, the fame and the glory of the Malay Hill is also expanded because sandalwood is growing there. And because of the sandalwood trees, and similarly, the name and the fame of the Yadu dynasty also expanded just by Krishna appeared in the dynasty. So that is what it means with the comparison given to the Malay Hills here, like sandalwood is growing there. So Krishna loves his devotee, and basically to increase the influence and increase the glories of and the name and fame of their devotees, Krishna appears in that Yadu dynasty, just like Krishna, like Lord Ram appeared in the Raghu dynasty, basically. Now, some other people says there are other reasons like why Krishna appears, like because as it says here in the purport, like Krishna appeared from Devaki and Vasudev, because Krishna promised them in their previous birth that yes, I will accept your prayers and I will appear as your son. There is nobody else like me, but I will. That's only me. That so I will only appear as your son. So that is another reason for Krishna appearing. And then Prabhupada ji further says, like, Krishna, like there is another reason, like people say why Krishna appears, because of the prosperity of and like of his devotees, like and also to give the punishment to the miscreants. For example, the people who envy the demigod and the people who envy the sage, the saintly people, and there are like demonic people who are envious to the demigod, and they cause the imbalance in this universe. So to rectify this situation, Krishna appears in the various incarnation, and so these incarnations are basically, these various reasons are enumerated by Queen Kunti, like why Krishna appears in this world. And we can relate the fourth point basically to our famous verse like Yada Yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhidhanava dharmasya tatatmana sarjamyam. So to summarize, Krishna appears for the four reasons. Basically, number one, to increase the glory of the devotee, his devotees, and number two, increase the glories of the Yadu dynasty, and specifically in specific to the Yadu king. Number three, to reciprocate with the prayers and love and affection, like of Vasudeva and Devaki. That's why he appeared. And the fourth one was to protect his devotee and to annihilate the demons actually. So these were the reasons Krishna appears, and that's what Kunti Maharani is praying here beautifully. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hari Bol.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Next, we have verse 34 and 35. Nina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I can read only the translate.
Sure.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Others says that the word being overburdened like a boat at sea is much aggrieved that the Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. Purport: Brahma, of the first living being born just after the creation, is the direct son of Narayana. Narayana, as the Garbhodak Vishnu, first of all entered the material universe. Without spiritual contact, matter cannot create. This principle was followed from the very beginning of the creation. The Supreme Spirit entered the universe, and the first living being, Brahma, was born on a lotus flower grown out of the transcendental embodiment of Vishnu. Vishnu is therefore known as Padman Bhala. Brahma is known as Atma Bhav because he was begotten directly from the Father without any contact of Mother Lakshmi Ji. Lakshmi Ji was present near Narayana, engaged in the service of the Lord, and still without contact with Lakshmi Ji, Narayana begot Brahma. That is the omnipotency of Lord. One who foolishly consider Narayana like other living beings should take a lesson from this. Narayana is not an ordinary living being. He is personality of Godhead himself, and he has all the potency of all senses in all parts of his transcendental body. An ordinary living being begets a child by sexual intercourse, and he has no other means to beget a child other than one designed for him. But Narayana, being omnipotent, is not bound to any condition of energy. He is complete and independent to do anything and everything by his various potency. Very easily and perfectly, Brahma is therefore directly the son of Father and was not put into the womb of a mother. Therefore, he is known as Atma Bhav. The Brahma is in charge of further creation in the universe. Secondly, reflected by the potency of omnipotent within the halo of universe, there is a transcendental planet known as Svidevibha, which is the above of the Krishudakshail Vishnu as Vishnu the Paramatma, future of the Supreme Lord. Whenever there is trouble in the universe that cannot be solved by the administrative gods, they approach Brahmaji for a solution. And if it is not to be solved even by Brahmaji, then Brahmaji consult and pray to the Dakshay Vishnu for an incarnation and a solution of the problem. Such a problem arose when Kamsa and the other were ruling over the earth, and earth became too much overburdened by the misdeeds of the Asuras. Brahmaji, along with other demigods, pray at the shore of the Krishudaksha ocean, and they were advised to the descent of Krishna as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. So some people say that the Lord appeared because of the prayers of Brahmaji. Next one. This is 35. And just others say that you appeared for the sake of reinventing the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned soul suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. In the purport, in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Lord asserts that he appeared in every millennium just to re-establish the way of religion. The way of religion is made by the Supreme Lord. No one can manufacture a new path of religion, as it the fashion for certain ambitious persons. The factual way of religion is to accept the Lord as the supreme authority and thus render service unto him in spontaneous love. A living being cannot help but render service because he is constitutionally made for that purpose. The only function of the living being is to render service to the Lord. The Lord is great, and living beings are subordinate to him. Therefore, the duty of the living being is just to serve him. Only unfortunately, the illusion living being, out of misunderstanding, only becomes servants of the senses by material desire. This desire is called avidya or science, and out of such a desire, the living being makes different plans for material enjoyment centered about a perverted sex life. He therefore becomes entangled in the chain of birth and death by transmigrating into different bodies on different planets under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Unless therefore one is beyond the boundary of the science, one cannot get free from the threefold misery of material life. That is the law of nature. The Lord, however, out of his causeless mercy, because he is more merciful to the suffering living being that they can accept, appear before them and renovate the principles of devotional service comprised of hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshipping, praying, cooperating, and surrendering unto him. Adoption of all the above mentioned item of any of them can help a conditioned soul get out of tangle of science and thus become liberated from all material suffering created by the living being illusion by the external energy. This particular type of mercy is bestowed upon the living being by the Lord in the form of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
जय श्री प्रभुपाद, जय श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु।
जी आप एक्सप्लेन कर दें।
नहीं ठीक है, आप प्रपोर्ट शिला प्रभुपाद ने एक्सप्लेन कर दिया। अगर आपको कोई पॉइंट बोलना हो तो बोल सकते हैं, अदरवाइज दैट्स ओके। ठीक है. Okay, thank you, Haribol. Next we have text. So we'll go a little over because we have at least 2-3 devotees more. So we'll go to verse number 36 and 37 and 38. Rashna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Bhaiya.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Shrivanti Gayanti Guranti Abhi Ashurasha Smaranti Nandanti Tavehitam Janaha Ta Ev Pashyanti Achiren Tavakam Bhav Pravaho Parmam Padambujam. Translation: O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities or take pleasure in others doing so certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. So, here is saying that here I understand that it's very simple to reach God. You just have to hear, chant, and repeat all devotional services. You don't have to be like highly educated or known of Vedas or read lots of scripture to reach God. Like gopis, you have to just chant, trust Lord, and chant and do lots of devotional services. That way, you can just go back to Golok, Vrindavan Dham. You don't have to take birth again on this earth. Verse 37.
Yeah.
Should I read the purport, Bhaiya?
नहीं ठीक है, आप just explain कर सकते हो बस points.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I think it's pretty simple. I think being our with material nature, we make it very difficult. We just try to enjoy our senses fully and we forget about Lord. And like everyone have told us many times that just simply hear his pastime, Lord's pastime, and chant regularly and do lots of services, devotional services, we can easily reach God. It's that simple in this verse, I think they are saying, but we just by being human, we make it really difficult. That's what I understood.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, verse 37. Apyad nastvam sukrute hi prabho jihasasi swit suhardo nujivinah yesham nachanya dvatah padambujat parayanam rajasu yojitam hasam. I'll read purport. Translation: O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today? Though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us now when all kings are at enmity with us. Purport: the Pandavas are most fortunate because with all good luck, they were entirely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. In the material world, to be dependent on the mercy of someone else is the utmost sign of misfortune. But in the case of our transcendental relation with the Lord, it is the most fortunate case when we can live completely dependent on Him. The material disease is due to thinking of becoming independent of everything. But the cruel material nature does not allow us to become independent. The false attempt to become independent of the stringent laws of nature is known as material advancement of experimental knowledge. The whole material world is moving on this false attempt of becoming independent of the laws of nature. Beginning from Ravana, who wanted to prepare a direct staircase to the planets of heaven, down to the present age, they are trying to overcome the laws of nature. They are trying now approach distant planetary system by electronic mechanical power. But the highest goal of human civilization is to work hard under the guidance of the Lord and become completely dependent on Him. The highest achievement of perfect civilization is to work with valor but at the same time depend completely on the Lord. The Pandavas were the ideal executors of this standard of civilization. Undoubtedly, they were completely dependent on the goodwill of Lord Sri Krishna, but they were not idle parasites of the Lord. They were all highly qualified both by personal character and by physical activities. Still, they always looked for the mercy of Lord because they knew that even that every living being is dependent by constitutional position. The perfection of life is therefore to become dependent on the will of the Lord, instead of becoming falsely dependent in the material world. Those who try to become falsely independent of the Lord are called anatha, or without any guardian. Whereas those who are completely dependent on the will of the Lord are called sanatha, or those having someone to protect them. Therefore, we must try to be sanatha, so that we can always be protected from the unfavorable condition of material existence. By the deluding power of the external material nature, we forget that the material condition of life is the most undesirable perplexity. The Bhagavad Gita therefore directs us that after many, many births, one fortunate person becomes aware of the fact that Vasudeva is all in all, and that is the best way of leading one's life is to surrender unto him completely. That is the sign of a Mahatma. All the members of the Pandava family were Mahatmas in household life. Maharaja Yudhishthir was the head of these Mahatmas, and Queen Kunti Devi was the mother. The lessons of the Bhagavad Gita and all the Puranas, specifically the Bhagavad Purana, are therefore inevitably connected with the history of the Pandava Mahatmas. For them, separation from the Lord was just like the separation of a fish from water. Srimati Kunti Devi therefore felt such separation like a thunderbolt, and the whole prayer of the Kunti is to try to persuade the Lord to stay with them. After the battle of Kurukshetra, although the inimical kings were killed, their sons and grandsons were still there to deal with the Pandavas. It is not only the Pandavas who were put into the condition of enmity, but all of us are always in such a condition. And the best way of living is to become completely dependent on the will of the Lord, and thereby overcome all difficulties of material existence. Text 38. केवयं नामरूपाभ्यां यदुभिः स पाण्डव भवतो दर्शनं यर्हि ऋषिकारा अमे विशितु. Translation: as the name and fame of a particular body is finished with the disappearance of the living spirit, similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities, along with the Pandavas and Yudas, will end at once. Purport: Kunti Devi is quite aware that the existence of the Pandavas is due to Sri Krishna only. The Pandavas are undoubtedly well established in name and fame and are guided by the great King Yudhishthira, who is morality personified, and the Yudas are undoubtedly great allies. But without the guidance of Lord Krishna, all of them are nonentities, as much as the senses of the body are useless without the guidance of consciousness. No one should be proud of his prestige, power, and fame without being guided by the favor of the Supreme Lord. The living beings are always dependent, and the ultimate dependable object is the Lord Himself. We may therefore invent by our advancement of material knowledge all sort of counteracting material resources, but without being guided by the Lord, all such inventions end in fiasco. However strong and stout the reactionary elements may be. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you
Jai.
so much. Very
Thank you.
nice.
Devi.
Okay, next we have text 39 and 40. Sujay Prabhu is there.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I will do the 39 and 40.
Okay, proxy for Sujay Prabhu. Okay, so we can just take up the the nice some points.
Yes, Prabhu. I will summarize the 39 and 40 together.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you. 1.839 Srimad Bhagavatam text. Nayam shobhishate tatra yathedani gadadhara tvatpati ankita bhati swalakshana vilakshite. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. O Gadadhar Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when we leave, it will no longer be so. Text 1.8.40. Ime janapada shvrita supak paushadhi virudha vanadinduvanto edante tava vivikshite. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. All these cities and villages are flourishing in all respects because the herbs and grains are in abundance. The trees are full of fruits and the rivers are flowing. The hills are full of minerals and the oceans full of wealth. And this is all due to your glancing over them. Summary of 39 and 40. So Kunti Devi expressing her concerns that the land of Hastinapur will loses its prosperity and auspiciousness once the Lord Krishna lives, as his presence is the source of all good fortune. And she also observes the unique marks on Krishna's feet, the impressions on the land of Hastinapur. Those are signifying his presence, and she fears that all the misfortune Hastinapur face once he leaves. And all the natural abundance like grains, fruits, and minerals they are the gift of the Lord, and the prosperity of all this lies is by his glance and not due to the material exploits. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful. Jai, Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Mhm.
So next time we'll make Sujay Prabhu do for you also.
Hare Krishna, sure.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, and the last one we have 41 and 42, 43. Tungvidya.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shula Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
अथ विश्वेश विश्वात्मना विश्वमूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम् इमं चिन्ति दृढं पाण्डेषु वृष्णिषु. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. So, Hare Krishna, Jai Shila Prabhupada. So, here we are reading Kunti Stuti. So, Kunti Maharani doesn't want Krishna to go because she's saying, like, we are okay with all the miseries, all the mishappenings if you are with us. So here, like Prabhupada is explaining that Kunti Maharani, she knew that Vrishnis, like their paternal family, Kunti Maharani's paternal family, they also need Krishna because Krishna was so long staying with Pandavas. So Kunti Maharani is very confused. She know that Pandavas, they cannot, as in the previous verses, it was explained that all the abundance will go if the Krishna will go, all the abundance will go. So she's a little bit puzzled up because she knew that both the families, the Vrishnis and Pandavas, they both need Krishna, and Krishna was so long staying with them. So somehow Krishna will go. So she's getting a little bit bewildered, and that's why she's asking Krishna, can you please cut off my all the affection for my immediate family and everybody? So for the higher perfection, sometimes we have to cut off all the this kind of immediate relationship. Not by cut off, Prabhupada is not saying cut off, So, limited ties of affection for his family. Prabhupada is saying a pure devotee cuts off the limited tie of affection for his family to get the higher purpose of life. So, here Prabhupada gave the example of our six Goswamis. They were from all the opulent families, they have everything, but they left for the higher purpose. If they would not have left the house, we would have not got Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we would not be sitting so relaxed. And there is example of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu also, how Lord Ram, they established their like he has to leave Sita Maya just to manifest the qualities of an ideal king. So sometimes you have to cut off the relationship, like the tie of affection from your kinsman to get the higher purpose. So Kunti Maharani knew that, like, until she does that, it is hard to get out of material bondage. And so here it says a Brahmana, a devotee, a king, or a public leader must be very broad-minded in discharging their respective duties. Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and being weak, she prayed to the to be free from such bondage of family affection. She knew this. Kunti Maharani ji is very, very brave. She knew everything. That's why she is requesting here to Krishna, Krishna, please cut off all this bondage of family affection. And like when we pray very sincerely, Krishna comes and help us. That's there it is explained in the last paragraph. Therefore it is sometimes experienced that the Lord, out of his special affinity towards a weak devotee, break the family affection by force of circumstances arranged by his all powerful energy. So here we can take the example of Srila Prabhupada. Like how Prabhupada, like everything, all the like adverse thing happened to Prabhupada, like his business went wrong, like nothing was working. He tried everything, but that was like it was a bigger plan Krishna has, right? So sometimes Krishna does all these things for a bigger purpose. So this is what is explained here. That is my understanding. Prabhupada was trying to explain very, very big and deep points, but this is my understanding out of this. So let's move on to the next one. I'm just reading translation. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn onto you without being diverted to anyone else. So here, Kunti Maharani ji, what is she asking? One pointed attraction towards Krishna, which is the goal of our life. So, but to cut off the tie of affection does not mean complete negation of the elements. So here Prabhupada is saying that we cannot completely negate, or we cannot completely cut our desire, right? So Prabhupada says dovetail your everything to the Krishna service. Okay, so we don't have to cut our desire. If we have a desire to do something, then just put it in the service of Krishna. Just dovetail that activity in the service of Krishna. So here Prabhupada gave the example of Arjuna. So Arjuna, like he was very confused, like should I fight, should I not? Because he was thinking about the long-term goals, like so many families will be disturbed and all those things. But when Krishna said the Bhagavad Gita, then he got the right answer. And just because of the instruction of Krishna, he fought. And after that, he became so famous, right? All the books we are reading about Arjuna. So if we follow the Krishna, then you will get all the whatever you want, right? So here Prabhupada said, and for doing this, he became a famous devotee of the Lord. For it is declared in all scriptures that Arjuna attained spiritual perfection by devotional service to the Lord in friendship. Right? We we said that Sakya Bhav Arjun. Arjun name always comes on the top. Okay, so this is what is explained here. And so here Kunti Maharani wanted to serve the Lord without any diversion. That was her prayer. In this sloka, she doesn't want any diversion. She just wanted to follow the instructions of um, Krishna. Uh, and here, one more point Prabhupada is explaining that her affection for the Pandavas and Rashnis is not out of range of devotional service, because here Prabhupada is saying they are also the devotees of the Lord. And here Prabhupada is saying, because the service of the Lord and the service of devotees are identical. Okay, so sometimes what Prabhupada is trying to explain here, the devotees, like some devotees, they just follow Krishna and they don't respect devotees, which is also not correct, right? So this is, I think this point also Prabhupada is trying to explain here. And when Kunti Devi wanted to cut off the family relations, she meant to cut off the relation of the skin. Okay, that he's my son, he's my husband, all those things. Okay, so the skin relation is the cause of material bondage, but the relation of the soul is the cause of freedom. So this is a very important point Prabhupada is explaining here. Um, that's all. So the example of sun is given, like, so which is very understandable. So let's move on to the next one. Text 43. O Krishna, translation, O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni, who are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distresses of the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the perceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer you my respectful obeisances. So here, Kunti Maharani is describing the supremacy of Krishna. He is the source of everything. He is the um, keeper of Surabhi cows. He can annihilate and all those things. So here we can think of the shloka. We can read one Brahma Samhita shloka. चिन्तामणि प्रखर सदमेषु कल्पवृक्ष लक्षवृतेषु सुरभि अभिपालयन्त्यं लक्ष्मी सहस्रशत सम्भ्रम सेव्यमानं गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. So Krishna is the source of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So Krishna, who is known as the Govinda, is a supreme God. He has the eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, and he is the prime cause of all causes. So Prabhupada is explaining here the supremacy of Kunti Maharani is explaining the supremacy of Krishna. I think uh, I think that's all. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Yeah, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
So this completes our revision of Queen Kunti's prayers. This was wonderful, really. In one shot, we were able to complete the whole revision, and everyone really presented very, very well. So thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for staying back late and respecting each other, although we have went over at least 20 minutes over. But thank you for respecting each other's and hearing out. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. We can just say Hari Bol 3 times Hari Bol for each other. And thank everyone. You can unmute yourself. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari
Prabhupada
Bol.
ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.